This is a final notice for your violation. What violation? We're just moving in.
This is ridiculous.
Rules are rules. Got it. One more for the file. This is ridiculous. They never learn.
We thought we'd made it. A quiet cul-de-sac, manicured lawns, a family-friendly community plastered all over the listing. This house was supposed to be our dream home. Instead, it became a trap. The first red flag showed up 72 hours after we moved in. Not a welcome basket, not a neighborly hello, a violation notice. Karen, the HOA enforcer, claimed our front door wreath was unapproved, not offensive, not damaged, just not on her list. We laughed it off. That was mistake number one. Within 2 weeks, the violations multiplied like a disease. Our fence color was slightly off. Our trash bin placement was aggressive. Our children's bicycles were considered visual clutter. Karen showed up constantly, always smiling, always holding paperwork, always reminding us, you agreed to this when you bought the house. By day 30, the dream was gone. We stopped unpacking. We stopped inviting friends. We started checking the mailbox with anxiety. Every envelope felt heavier than the last. And then Karen said the sentence that made my stomach drop. If you keep resisting, this community may not be a good fit for your family. That's when it hit us. This wasn't about rules. This was about breaking us until we left. Before this story goes any further, like this video, subscribe for real HOA nightmare stories. Share this with someone house hunting. Tell us where you're watching from, city and country. Karen did next, destroyed everything we thought we were building. Once Karen realized we weren't leaving quietly, the harassment became strategic, calculated. Every violation was timed. Notices arrived late Friday evening, so we couldn't call the HOA office until Monday. Deadlines were set for weekends. Appeals were received, but mysteriously never processed. Karen started showing up unannounced. She'd stand across the street pretending to check her phone while photographing our house. She questioned delivery drivers. She asked neighbors if we were causing problems. Suddenly, people who had waved at us before stopped making eye contact. Isolation was part of the plan. Then came the fines. $75 for trash bins, $250 for unauthorized outdoor decor, $1,200 for non-compliant fencing that had been there before we bought the house. When we challenged it, Karen sent a cold one-line email. Non-compliance will escalate. Escalate how? She didn't say, but the next letter did. A notice of intent to place lien. That's when sleep stopped. My partner started waking up at night panicking about foreclosure. The kids overheard conversations they shouldn't have. The house felt heavy, unsafe. And Karen? She thrived. She told us, smiling, that other families had chosen to move after similar issues. That cooperation made things easier. That resistance made things worse. This wasn't enforcement anymore. It was psychological warfare. And we were exactly where she wanted us. Exhausted, scared, and questioning whether buying this house was the worst mistake of our lives. Karen didn't just want us stressed. She wanted us gone. It started subtly. Letters claiming violations we'd already fixed, then fines for issues that didn't exist, then accusations that made no sense at all. She cited us for a broken fence panel that wasn't broken, for unregistered occupants when family came to visit, for commercial activity because my partner worked from home. Then came the day she crossed the line. We came home to find a tow truck in our driveway. Karen stood there, arms crossed, explaining that our car was being removed for overnight parking violations. The problem? Our car was parked inside our own garage. She had authorized the tow anyway. When we demanded proof, she waved a blurry photo taken through our garage window. She'd been watching us, monitoring us, waiting for a chance. Neighbors came outside. Phones were recording. Karen snapped, yelling that she had full authority and that we were non-cooperative residents. That's when the tow driver refused to move the car. He knew something was wrong. Karen screamed that she'd have him banned from the community, threatened lawsuits, threatened police. Instead, someone else called them. By the time the officers arrived, Karen's confidence was gone. She suddenly stopped talking, stopped smiling, stopped threatening, and for the first time since we moved in, we weren't afraid anymore. Because we realized something important. Karen wasn't powerful. She was reckless. The HOA emergency meeting was supposed to silence us. Instead, it exposed everything. We walked in with timelines, emails, photos, police incident numbers, and witness statements. Every threat, every fake violation, every time Karen had crossed from enforcement into harassment. Karen tried to speak first. She claimed we were difficult homeowners, that we were non-compliant, that her actions were within HOA authority. Then the board's lawyer interrupted her. Slowly, carefully. He explained that authorizing a tow without verified proof was illegal, that photographing inside a garage was a privacy violation, that selective enforcement opened the HOA to lawsuits that could bankrupt the association. Karen's face changed. The room turned on her. Neighbors who had stayed silent finally spoke up. Other families shared stories, similar patterns, similar threats, similar pressure to move voluntarily. This wasn't one bad situation, it was a system. By the end of the meeting, Karen's enforcement powers were suspended, fines were frozen, a third-party audit was ordered. The board promised policy review, though no one apologized. We didn't feel victorious. We felt exhausted because the dream home we bought would never feel the same again. We stayed, but wiser, louder, documenting everything. That's the real lesson. Some HOAs don't protect communities, they break families. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever bought a home that turned into a nightmare because of an HOA? What happened? Share your story in the comments. I read every single one. Like, share, and subscribe for more real HOA nightmare stories. And tell us where you're watching from, city and country.